We've got some more bowl game action for you. NC State, Miami. We've got a little Boston College, Georgia versus Florida State. What will go down with that one? And Clemson and Kentucky. All of those games will go through to get you ready and locked and loaded, and maybe get some betting action on Locked On ACC.
You are Locked On ACC, your daily podcast on the Atlantic Coast Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's edition of Locked On ACC. I'm your host, Candace Cooper, joined by Kenton Gibbs of Locked On Wolfpack. Each and every day, you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you download, subscribe to the pod on our YouTube page, where you can interact with our community each and every day. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. We all know that we're trying to get in on some betting action, especially during the bowl season. Today, make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started today. Kenton, it's time for bowl season. Maybe arguably the best bowl trophy that we've had so far this year. The Pop-Tart Bowl will kick us off in our conversations, but we know it's your team. So how are you feeling about tomorrow's matchup?
Yeah, it's a very interesting time because I'm looking at this game and I'm seeing that Vegas has the Wildcats favored by 2.5, and that's very interesting to me because both teams are seeing some fairly significant opt-outs. It's just that not all, but a vast majority of Kansas State's top offensive producers are opting out. Their second leading rusher, their starting quarterback, their top two pass catchers, all opting out of the game. Of course, you got Big Cooper Beebe, All-American left guard, still playing there, but there seems to be some questions there, so that's a little confusing. But I'm excited about it. I'm heading down to Orlando today, actually. I'm going to go down there and get myself some Pop-Tarts. I don't care what nobody say, okay? I'm going to eat Pop-Tarts till somebody's saying, Pawpaw, your arm, because this bowl game is seeming to be a fun one.
1,000%. As we're looking through, it will be an exciting time for NC State to just see where they are as a program. We know that it's been a long, trying season, that many people counted them out. But to get a win against Kansas State, what would that mean for them?
So this would be the second double-digit win season in program history. That would be immense. That would mean the world to NC State. And this isn't – I want people to truly have the context of after the Duke game, people were saying this was a rebuilding year. Imagine getting your second double-digit win season ever in what was said to be a rebuilding year. You get what I'm saying? Like that, this would just be a moment in which this program, it could be a program changer, and that's no exaggeration. And I know some people are going to say, well, it's just a bowl game, and people are going to look at this and say, oh, opt out this, opt out that. The records are the record. History is history. The fact of the matter is, unless it's a major bowl game and there are extreme circumstances, for the most part, it won't be a footnote in history. Hey, this got transferred, this happened, that happened. What will be a footnote in history is this is a team that won 10 games. And with all due respect, I know some people are going to get upset at me for this, but a 10-win season at NC State that's the type of team that you have come back every 10 years and say, hey, the 2023 10-win. That's the type of team that every 10 years you say, hey, this is the 2023 10-win Pop-Tart Bowl champion team, because, again, this could be the beginning of something great. And, it's very interesting that you think about this concept. And I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse or anything like that. But the reality is, regardless of what program you are, where you are, if you're a Power 5 team, you are consistent winning away from being Clemson. Like, that's just the reality. That's just there is nothing that impressive about Clemson, South Carolina, with all due respect, that, would make them become who they are by way of like, oh, they just are that attractive. It's the winning that does it. If you set a 10-win season here and then you build off that, because there's already a lot of excitement going on at NC State with the current transfer portal class and the best recruiting class that Dave Doran's had in his tenure, or tied for best or something along those lines. You're going in the right direction. You're a program on the rise.
1,000%. We know that, again, it'll happen at 5:45 on ESPN, the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Will Dave Doran, the most important question, eat Pop-Tarts? stuff his face, be tossed with Pop-Tarts if they win.
He said that he would eat the Pop-Tart if he could have bourbon to wash it down, to which my reply was, my brother in Christ, is everything okay at home? You do not need bourbon. That is a sugary snack. That's like saying I'll eat Skittles only if I can have a shot of whiskey afterwards. What? Brother, this is the type of thing that's supposed to taste good to you. You just can't eat too many of your stomach start hurting. So, we don't worry, Dave. We've all been there, whatever's going on, you're gonna make it through, brother.
Hopefully they give you some brown cinnamon sugar Pop-Tarts, to take home. They don't have a box of that in the press box for you, doing themselves a disservice.
Oh, absolutely. If they don't got a box, I'll find one. I'll tell you that much now.
Always and forever. All right, friends, we want to talk about Gametime. We know that you are always trying to get some tickets to go to your favorite shows. Gametime is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. They're obsessed with finding ways to save money on tickets. You can find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, baseball, basketball, and more. With zone deals, you pick the section and Gametime picks the seats for an average of 18% of savings. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. More bowl game action we're talking through today. We have our Thursday matchups here. New ACC foes, SMU and Boston College, will face off. The 6-6 Boston College Eagles will have sort of a home field advantage at the Fenway Bowl against the SMU Mustangs. It'll be at 11 a.m. on ESPN. Very early game. Get in, get out, do what you got to do. Now, I'm not saying I'm for Boston College only because they're like the OGs. Well, OG-ish of the ACC, but I'd rather them than SMU right now. Still hurts. Still trying to figure it out.
I think that this is so interesting to see, right? With conference realignment and all that, to see two teams that are going to be playing against each other on a regular basis going forward, playing in this game. But I'll tell you what a season for both of these teams. What a time in terms of looking at where both of these teams are. I talked about the idea of a program on the rise with NC State. You can kind of say the same thing for both of these programs. SMU has not been this good and this relevant since the Pony Express. Let's just be honest, right? And we know what came right after that. And then on the other side, you have a Boston College team that has been beaten, battered, bruised, scraped. Everybody said Hafley was out, including me. It's me. I'm everybody. This is a moment to where Castellanos was a shot in the arm that team needed, led them on a 5-game winning streak. And so what if it was against the Island of Misfit Toys University and Community College? Sure. It's still 5 wins in 2023.
Well, not all of them.
Not all of them, but my point is 5 wins are 5 wins. Regardless of who you get them from, 5 FBS wins, including some conference wins, even if they're conference bottom feeders, they are wins. They got to a bowl game. This is a moment where, again, SMU, they may be in flight already. Boston College is trying to lead the runway. They're trying to get up off the runway. It'll be a good game to see.
1,000%. Again, the Fenway Bowl will be at 11 a.m. and Boston College will try and get the dub. Well, SMU would certainly give them a good fight. Let's talk about Rutgers in Miami here. That'll be at 2:15 in the Bad Boy Mowers Pine Stripe Bowl. Yeah, all right. Miami, a team 7-5, squeaking into a bowl game. We know that it's been an up and down season for them, a little bit of inconsistency. They don't necessarily have a QB1 right now, but Mario and the boys are going to enjoy a little bit of action there and see what can come of it, even though Pinstripe Bowl gives Rutgers a little bit of advantage in terms of location. You're on mute.
This game to me is so confusing because I want to say Miami should win this game and dominate. Rutgers has not looked good as of late. They are on a 4-game losing streak. But then you look at Miami and you say, well, they're on a 3-game losing streak, but at least all their losses were close for the most part. But then on the counterpart of that, it's like, who's going to be throwing the ball? Are you going to go Wildcat? Are y'all going to pull what a Syracuse did earlier in the year, which at a school like Miami, you shouldn't have to do, but lo and behold, they're battling for the Cam Ward sweepstakes for a reason. I want to say that I believe in Mario and the boys to get it done because I don't think Rutgers is a very good team at all. I don't think that they're a decent team, to be quite honest. I think if you put them in the ACC, unless they get a real easy one, I don't know if they win 6 games this year. But this is tough because, again, Miami is Miami. Regardless of what their record is, they're going to have very talented players that are going to league who are going to opt out. They're going to have players who are jumping into transfer portal and whatnot who are going to be impact players elsewhere. And, of course, you lose Tyler Van Dyke to the transfer portal. You lose Williams to the arm injury. It's like, who's going to be throwing the ball? You lose Jacoby George. You just lose so much. It's tough.
Restrepo as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Restrepo as well. It's tough. Like I said, you're at Miami. You're going to lose some to the NFL opting out. You're going to lose some to the transfer portal. But, man, this one, I got a feeling this one's going to be, I got the opposite feeling that Will.i.am had when he said tonight's going to be a good night. I don't got a good feeling about this one.
Well, when you're putting your money up, who would you go for right now in terms of Rutgers or Miami? I'm giving Miami the nod.
Even if I was a millionaire, I wouldn't put no money up on this one. But if I had to, absolutely had to, I think Rutgers, because they want to be there. And a lot of bowl games are about who wants to be there. And let's just be honest, with Miami's hopes and where they were coming into this season, I don't think that they were like,
where did they think they was going?
People thought that they were one of the teams that to watch out for in the ACC championship race.
Sure, but like after a couple games, we figured that wasn't it. Like still being bowl eligible and getting to a bowl game, we'd be excited about. I mean, I guess if you were Florida State crying about being in the Orange Bowl, sure, I can see that. But Miami
started the season 4-0 with a win over a Texas A&M program that everybody thought was amazing, and so everybody thought that this team was going in a certain direction.
Orange Bowl.
That it turns. Listen, that's what they're saying. That's what they thought. Okay, that's where the folks thought they would. Folks thought they would be in that tier bowl, and congratulations, they are where they are. I thought
I'd be down 50 pounds at the end of the year, but here we are.
Well, the camera adds 10 pounds. You look amazing, Candace. You look amazing. You're all right.
Hey, listen, whatever. It's holiday season. They say drink and be merry, and certainly that's what you should do throughout the rest of the year. But you should get your votes and your betting in because, like we said, there's always some good money to be made with our friends at FanDuel. As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers stay hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. It's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. They have spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started today. FanDuel is the official partner of the NFL. Can we talk on the show a lot about our favorite teams? And one thing we haven't gotten a chance to talk about is, your Lions making the playoffs. I'm excited for you.
I first time in my lifetime that they won the NFC North. Can't believe this is happening to me. Wow. 2023 has been a very challenging and trying year for many of us. And this moment here, what a win. What a win.
Yes, a lot of sacrifice going on there. Well, Kentucky, Clemson, that'll be one where who knows? Both teams probably didn't think they'd be here specifically at this Gator Bowl, but might as well try and find you a dub if you're going to be there. Not necessarily a cigar smoking moment, but certainly an end to a solid season. 9 wins for Clemson if they get this W, 8 for Kentucky. And a 9-win season for Clemson will be sort of a disappointment. However, if you turn the tide and think about where they are as a program, maybe some solid transfer pickups. Who knows if Dabo Swinney will actually start investing into this new system, this new NIL world, and really hone in on trying to just play the game.
Here's the reality. We always talk about what you look at with different universities, and I just talked about this with Miami in terms of opt-outs and all that good stuff. You're going to see the same thing at Clemson because you're Clemson. You're going to see that same kind of deal there. But I will say this should be a Clemson team that's motivated to be here because they're a young team. They are a team that is seeing guys have to be impact players that are super young in that secondary. On the outside, on the perimeter, with Bo Collins transferring, you're going to have younger guys stepping up and making plays and whatnot. This is a game that I believe Clemson will be excited to be at. And I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong here, but I believe Ray Davis is opting out for Kentucky, which, I mean, if you've seen that Kentucky offense, him and the big blue wall are the offense. So I think the Clemson will find themselves some success in this one.
Is your friend playing the quarterback? Our old familiar friend?
Oh, Devin Leary? I believe so. Yeah, I believe Devin Leary is playing. I haven't heard any news about him, so I mean, I don't know why he would opt out, brother. You get all the tape you can. Get the tape. Get good tape, brother. Get good tape.
Get the tape against a good Clemson defense for sure, you know, as he prepares himself for his next chapter, probably as the enterprise track. But, you know, that's fine. Do whatever he has to do.
The enterprise track is crazy.
Hey.
You wouldn't even give him Devin Leary Honda of the Commonwealth or something. Like, come on now, give him something.
I don't know that he would get his own shop straight out the gate. I think he might have to work for it a little bit. He might have to do a little apprenticeship.
Understandable.
The one that is going to end it all for us here is Georgia, Florida State. It has been a trying postseason ACC championship. You know, we can argue all day long about whether or not Florida State got rigged. And we've had so many shows we've taken off and we've talked about this could be the last one for the Seminoles in terms of being a part of the ACC and in a big way, right? They could just ride out to the sunset. Who knows how it's all going to go down, especially if their lawsuit wins and they're able to, you know, pony up and skedaddle. But you got to play the game. A lot of people are opting out, which we definitely understand and knew. Now you got a lot of young guys who are ready for their opportunity. Tate Rodemaker, unfortunately, is not going to be playing. But, you know, next man up. Do what you got to do. We've seen some QB3s from Florida State already. Why not add it again in the Orange Bowl against a good Georgia team?
I mean this wholeheartedly. They should have never signed on to play this bowl. You only are allowed to have 85 scholarship players per roster. 20 have opted out. 20. 1 in 4 have opted out. They should have never agreed. If I was them, like I said, I would have boycotted. I would have just said out the gate. Because now you're looking at your third string guys going against. I'm not saying that it's all of Georgia's, that there's not going to be any opt-outs from Georgia. There's not going to be any attrition from Georgia, because there are, or there is, rather, there will be. You're not looking at 1 in 4 attrition from Georgia. You're not looking at every position being impacted the way that it will be for Florida State in this one, you know, and you've got to salute a guy like Kalen DeLoach for still showing up and playing. You've got to salute a guy like Fentrell Cypress for showing up and playing. I believe he's coming back next year, but still, you've got to salute these guys for showing up and playing because, man, this team, the numbers, the odds are not in their favor in terms of you know, how much help they'll have, how much depth they'll have, how many guys they'll have available that have played big minutes and done good things. You know, your starting quarterback's out, backup quarterback's out, receiver 1, receiver 2's out, defensive end 1, defensive tackle. Like, you're just everywhere.
Next man up. That's how it goes, right?
Okay. Right. Next man up. Here's the thing. I get the mentality, but the next man up is not the first man out for a reason, right? Like, and you can replace maybe 1 or 2 and everybody just play a little bit better. Just lift them up. You can't replace 20. You cannot replace 20. 20 is insane.
I have Rihanna's song stuck in my head after you said that. That's why that's extremely funny to me.
Oh, wow. That song is so sad. I love that song, too. It's on my crying playlist, you know.
Crying playlist is crazy.
Yeah, whenever you need a good cry, I got a playlist that I go to that, like, you know, it just gets the waterworks.
Let's it flow. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, will Florida State fans be crying and throwing up watching this?
No, they're going to be drunk and happy. They know what's going to happen. If all things were evenly considered, if Florida State said we're going to go the UCF route and we're going to beat the brakes off Georgia and win us claim a national championship, Tate Rodemaker at quarterback, Keon and Johnny are playing, Jared Versus playing, all these guys are playing, yeah, I think that they got a shot. But the reality is, with what's going on in this game, they're going to be drunk and happy. They're going to be, oh, baby, we knew already.
Yeah, maybe some board of trustees information will come out, or some new litigious conversations will come forth, and we'll figure out how to get ourselves into another summer of, what is the word I'm looking for? in terms of the league switching around.
Realignment.
There
Yep.
it is. There it is. But
A
that
hot
remains.
realignment summer.
It is going to be a hot realignment summer. That'll be at 4:00 on ESPN. So make sure you check that out. That'll be on Saturday. And then we really getting into the new year. That's all of our ACC bowl games. And we're going to kick off basketball season. There will be some matchups that go down throughout starting on December 30th. But make sure you lock in and check those out. We have to switch gears. But as we know, there is a lot of things that are coming forth from a football standpoint that will, have implications towards other sports. So we'll make sure we keep you guys abreast to that. But don't leave us, our football fans. If you like basketball, you stick around. But if you want to have a little bit of maybe third segment football action, we'll keep that for you as well. So don't desert. Stay a part of the community. We're figuring out ways to make it engaging, same way we did for the football season. So we look forward to having those conversations with you then. For Candace Cooper and Kenton Gibbs, until next time.